everybody, welcome to another episode of Exploring Photography right here on Adorama TV. I'm Mark Wallace, hanging out in my tiny little apartment in Buenos Aires, Argentina. I'm on day 79 of the quarantine here. I haven't been able to go outside and do anything other than get groceries and come back inside because it's really strict. But I'm really excited because in North America and in Europe and other parts of the world, things are opening up and we're able to get outside and start taking photos again. That's an exciting moment. And so I thought, well, in this episode, I would like to talk about a really important moment in photography that we like to call the decisive moment. And so when you are able to go outside and start taking photos, you can use this technique to get really interesting photos. So what is decisive moment? Well, we tend to think of decisive moment as a picture that's sort of lucky. Maybe we take a picture right when the batter's hitting the ball and the ball's on the end of the bat, or a bird lands funny and we get that just at the right moment, sort of luck. But that's not really what decisive moment is. Decisive moment takes a little bit of planning and some luck. What we want to do is have three things all line up. The first is the time of day. So the light, the shadows, the color temperature, all of that is right. The second thing is our composition. So we want to make sure that we have everything framed just right. And then the last thing is the action that's happening inside of that photo. And so we can plan for those things. We can make sure we're at the right place with the right composition at the right time of day. And then we might have to wait a little bit for the action to happen. And then we might have to have a little bit of luck for something interesting to happen if we're in an interesting place. So let me walk you through exactly that process. The right time of day, right composition, the right action, all lining up. So we're going to go back in time to a day when I was in the Zambezi River. So I was on a cabin right next to the river. I have to show you this awesome room. I got this room. I gave it to myself for Christmas, a little upgrade here. It's really cool, but it's on the Zambezi River, and so I'll step out here to the patio, and then I just want to show you my view here. Check this out. I was a little bit annoyed because there were river boats going up and down, going to Victoria Falls. They were really noisy. They were sort of messing up my beautiful little cabin there. But I thought, well, maybe I can just go out on my balcony, which was right on the river, and take a photo. So I took this very first shot, and it is, as you can see, extremely bland. Nothing is going on. It's just an absolutely horrible photo. It's not something you'd ever put on your wall. But what I was doing was I was playing with my composition to see if I could get some framing with the branches coming in on the side, figuring out where the horizon was, because I knew the sun was going to be setting at a later time. So I put my camera down, I went inside, I just relaxed and started reading, and sure enough, a few hours later, the sun started going through the windows of my little cabin. So I grabbed my camera and I thought, this is fantastic because it's just this wonderful golden light streaming through the windows, and I took a picture and I got this horrible picture because what I saw didn't match what my camera could capture. It was just way beyond the dynamic range. The windows were a little bit muddy, so it just wasn't good. So I thought, well, I'm going to run outside and see if I can take this picture again using the same composition that I started with in the middle of the day. And so I got this photo. And you can see it's bland. It's not really anything special. It's just the sun going down, and the color's not very good. So I looked at that and I thought, well, it's not matching what I see with my eyes. I need to adjust the color temperature so what I'm seeing, which is this beautiful golden light, matches what my camera is taking. So I did that. I took another photo and I got this shot. And so you can see that is much, much better, but it's still a boring sunset. We have a few problems with this image. At the very bottom, you can see, if we zoom in, you can see that there's a tiny bit of lens flare. I don't like that. The specular highlights of the sun is just like a line leading us into the sun. It's just not really interesting. So I thought, well, maybe my composition is wrong. I've been working at this wrong. So I pointed the camera to the side, and there were some trees that I took a picture at the same exact place, just to the side, and got, again, another horrible picture. You can see this is all confused. We can see that light has become side light. So I realized definitely what I need to do is shoot into the sun, but I just need to wait a little bit. As the sun goes below the horizon, things will get diffused. So I did. I just waited a few minutes, and instead of shooting full frame, I cropped to a 16:9, so I'd have this sort of cinematic look, and made this photo. And you can see now that the light on the river is diffused. We don't have that really hard line leading us to the sun. It's a much prettier sunset. So I have two of the three things that I need happening. I have the right time of day and the right composition, but it's still not the decisive moment because there's no action. There's nothing that's happening in this photo that leads my eye into it to make it interesting. But I remembered those annoying boats going up and down the river, and I thought if I just wait, maybe I can capture one of those backlit and get a really cool silhouette with the sun and the orange. It's going to be wonderful, and sure enough, I got it. I waited and I got this photo. So this is my final image. It's decisive moment. Right time of day, beautiful color, right composition, everything is framed, the right action with the boat. It's great. I love this photo. You can see from the very first horrible photo to the last, it's a significant change. Let me give you one more example of why we need to sort of plan decisive moment. It's not something that just happens. I spend a lot of time in Paris, France. And when I'm there, this is my favorite hotel. I'm always there. And one of the problems with that hotel room is that, well, there's a bus that is outside that comes several times a day. And there's a window in that hotel room where people just sit on the ledge waiting for the bus. And so the bus comes, it's really annoying, it's really loud. But I noticed something from the inside. Several times a day on the hour or on the half hour, a bus shows up, people are sitting on that ledge, and depending on the time of day, because the window is translucent, I was seeing some really cool things. People sitting on that ledge looked really cool. And so I thought, I have a perfect picture here. What I need to do is make sure my time of day is right so that we have some soft tones, maybe a rainy day. I need to make sure my composition is right, which is get rid of everything except for the person in the window so we don't see the edges or anything, and then just wait for the action. And so that's what I did. And sure enough, a few weeks after I got there, there was a rainy day and a person came with an umbrella and sat on that ledge waiting for a bus, and I got this shot. The right time of day, the right composition, and the right action all come together for the decisive moment. Well, I hope this video has helped you out. Try to take this technique and put it into practice as you're beginning to get out and about and exploring the outside world again. And I hope that you're staying safe, staying healthy. Don't forget, we're here to help you create no matter what. So if you create some images using Decisive Moment, make sure you tag on social media Adorama and use the hashtag #CreateNoMatterWhat so we can see what you've created. Also, follow me on Instagram. Here's my stuff right here. And I thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you again next time.